Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy.
I want to spend a little time just talking about this game before we actually pick it. I have spent most of the week on this show and writing on LouisianaSports.net talking about the opportunity for LSU's defense this week because that was the topic of conversation all off-season long, is whether or not LSU could get its defense up to speed to compete at the top of the SEC. And we get an opportunity to see some of that on Saturday night. Obviously, they've dealt with some injuries. You hate losing Jacoby and Guillory. You hate losing Harold Perkins. Zy Alexander hasn't played very much. But I've told you, like, Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart, team that's won a ton of games over the last 3 years in Ole Miss, this is your chance to see if the defense is ready to swim in the deep end and keep LSU in games and help LSU win games. You thought you had an opportunity to see that against USC, and quite frankly, they held USC to 13 points midway through the fourth quarter of that game and then gave up 2 touchdown drives. But I told you all week, like, this is the chance to see if LSU's ready defensively to compete. And I actually have studied this a little bit more and come to this conclusion. I know what LSU's defense is going to do, relatively speaking, tomorrow. I don't think Ole Miss is going to score 55 like they did last year. I don't think Ole Miss is scoring 17. Ole Miss is going to score some. I think they're going to hit some big plays. Maybe LSU gets some sacks. Hopefully the Tigers can get a turnover. But Ole Miss is going to score some on Saturday night. This, honestly, may be the opportunity for this offense, for this quarterback, to say, hey, we're good enough to play against the best defenses in the SEC. Because despite what the perceived identity of Ole Miss's program is, with Lane Kiffin at quarterback, that it's an offensive team, their defense has been better this year. Walter Nolan is going to be an early pick. Prince Umanmielen, I don't know how to say it. Either way, he's a really good pass rusher. He's going to be out there. J.J. Bakis is a great interior pass rusher, an athlete who might have a touchdown tomorrow because he's got 4 at 315 pounds catching wildcat snaps. They've got guys on the other side like Ivy, Amos at corner. They're good on defense. They put the clamps on South Carolina. Kentucky didn't light them up. Like, they're good on defense. And LSU's offense now has its chance to prove that it can play against those elite teams and score enough points to win, because the identity of this LSU team is going to be, if they're good, play some defense and score enough on offense. You're not going to smother Alabama. You're not going to smother Texas A&M. Your defense isn't good enough to do that. So I think this is actually a better litmus test for the offense than it is the defense. Keep in mind, Ole Miss scored 17 on Kentucky. They didn't light it up against South Carolina last week. They just held them to 3. So, to me, Garrett Nussmeier, Joe Sloan, Kyron Lacey, all you offensive linemen up front dealing with pros on their defensive line, it's about time for you to step up and kind of prove it. I may have had this backwards all week. I think that's the point that we will have to see in this game. All right, last thing we got to do here is pick LSU and Ole Miss. And we've been talking about it all week. It's just a massive, massive game. And those are just so much fun around here. I mean, you've got folks from all over the state that are coming in. It's a gorgeous day to drive. It's going to be a gorgeous day to tailgate tomorrow. And tomorrow night, Death Valley will be everything that you want it to be. You've got a great opponent who is a threat. LSU fans know that you could wreck Ole Miss's season, the most anticipated season they've had in 40 years, 50 years, with a win. It'll be full throat in there to start, and that's going to help LSU's defense to an extent. But the defense is going to have to pick up the slack from there. And I trust LSU's offense to move the ball. I do think Ole Miss will make some plays with their edge rushers. They're active and they're good. And I think that they'll win theirs, and LSU's offensive line will win theirs as well. I'm nervous about LSU's running game. Ole Miss is number 1 in the country in run defense. Is that because they played a terrible schedule, which is true, or is that because they're that good running the football, stopping the run? We'll see tomorrow. But I do trust Garrett Nussmeier to make good decisions and LSU to move the ball through the air. The thing that's hung me up all week is that I don't know that I can come here and honestly tell you I like LSU's defensive backs' ability to run with Ole Miss. If Trey Harris is significantly compromised, that does change things a little bit, and they're very, very dependent on him. But it's going to be tough on Blake Baker with that personnel to match wits with Lane Kiffin. I'm very, very hopeful that he is. I can't wait to get on campus tomorrow. I'm already super fired up right now to do it. Tiger Stadium is going to be awesome, and we all know that it's not always awesome. It will be tomorrow. Can LSU do enough on both sides of the ball to come up with the biggest win in that stadium in a couple of years? I just can't trust the defensive secondary to do it right now. I think Ole Miss wins this game by a final score of 34-24. I hope I'm dead wrong, but it's going to be a lot of fun until we find out.
Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.